Hello, everyone. We're at it again. Where are we at? We're almost all posted now.
I got one more.
One more to post, and then we're going to do about an hour or so today because look at how thick this is getting, guys. That's pretty thick. That's a lot of questions. So I'm going to do my best to tear through these today. I won't waste too much time getting off on tangents. I say that. But first I thought I would show you this. This is from New Zealand, and this is an eye chart. I really love this. You have to order them. We carry them here, but you have to get them in from New Zealand. And Nature Path put this up. And this is really a nice way to have an iris chart. How's that coming in? Pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see it's real easy to read for people, and you can see where the different organs are and the glands are. Really nice little iris chart. It's a nice thing to frame and have in your office. And to use. I use this on my clients all the time. We doing good there?
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. All right. Good deal. Okay. Now, I appreciate your comments on the iridology. Sometime I'll tear into it a little more because there are differences. Polish those grapes right off. I'll tear into it. Thank you, Chris. Thank you. There's a lot. There are fine differences between iridologists, and some of iridology to me is not always correct because we learn and grow. You know, like some of the things I do. I mean, you're all going to learn and grow with it. You're going to find things out, maybe more. Maybe I'm off somewhere, and you're going to find where I am, and, you know, all these things. As the autonomic nerve rate. The autonomic nervous system shows up as nerve rings. We call them stress or cramp rings, rings in the eye like age rings in a tree, but those aren't, you don't get them during stress. That is actual neurological weakness. Myelin sheath weakness expresses itself as nerve rings. The autonomic nerve wreath that goes around the eye really is the bowel wall and malabsorption. When you see a thick ring or a thick wall around the pupil that follows the GI tract, that's the lymph system in the GI tract wall. And you don't read that in iridology. And it's just, you know, years of working with this and seeing this, and there's a lot of things like that that I've found to be a little off. But you know what? That's science. You know, we're all here to make things better. I want to address one thing again because I just can tell you, here's another person, 1, 2, 3, 4, that made a statement about these glandulars. If you're going to make a statement about glandulars, then get it right. Because they don't squeeze gallbladders and bile, and they don't do that. You know, since we are a species that are always going to, at least for a long time, consume animal products, then these labs, and I will use them, these labs have humane ways. They raise animals for this reason. They're organic, and they use the right way of taking care of these animals. All parts are used. There's organic beef. There's a lot of medical doctors, a lot of nature paths that have organic cattle farms. And they raise these animals to eat, those people that eat meat. And so nothing's wasted. So the organic glands are used, desiccated and used as a treatment for what actually, it's ironic because we're actually having to deal with chronic levels of glandular weaknesses today. The herbs are a bit slow at restoring the health of these glands when you have very serious problems happening. And so this isn't an unhumane slaughter of animals and all this, and I wish you'd quit bringing some of this up because it isn't true. Standard process labs for years raised their own cattle organically. Nothing's ever wasted. And until man becomes a total vegetarian, fruitarian, then I will admit that I can use things that are done in the proper way. Nobody, I mean, you have people that are inhumane in the way they deal with animals and some slaughter. I've been to a lot of slaughterhouses. So I'm very familiar with that. We were farmers, so I'm very familiar with that sort of thing. You got the Ted Nugents of the world. You have these people that do consume animal foods. If they're organic, I believe that I can use those glands as long as everything was done humanely. Yes, I can use it, because I can tell you, this isn't like I'm going to eat raw foods and everybody's going to be hunky-dory. This isn't the world we live in, Master Jack. The world we live in is very serious. If Kelly, if you look at her case, and this is a real case, then you're going to see how people are suffering. I just had a man in the other day. Blood pressure is, 80/40, and cancer all through them. I mean, these are serious cases, and you're not going to eat a few raw foods and fix these cases. You're not going to do it. I have raw food people in here constantly with serious problems. You're just not going to do it. This takes extra power, extra work. It's one thing and I understand the spirituality of it all, I really do. But there's all levels of understanding spiritually too. And I went over that before in terms of life on this planet. If you eat anything, you're destroying it. Anything. You couldn't walk without hurting something, unless you walk on concrete, and then you had to hurt something to be able to pour it. You can't get away from any of that. But you have to realize that everything's just states of consciousness. Nothing really truly exists in form that that you can truly kill. So you just have to understand that spiritually. So I want to set this record right about glandulars. If you choose not to use them, I respect that totally. I mean, Shania Twain, Mutt Lange, these guys, Bryan Adams, these guys are strict, and I uphold that strictness. I agree with them, and that's okay. I applaud that. At the same time, I'm in practice to help people, and I've got very serious cases. I don't just help people with cold and flu-like symptoms. I help other practitioners. I'm the one that everybody sends their impossible cases to. So it's just one of those things, And so get it straight if you're going to say stuff like that these glandulars come from, because you're wrong. Now, some guy sent me this from Greece, and I apologize, my friend. I cannot pronounce your name. I apologize. Panos. None of us in this office can, so I apologize there. You have a lot of eye problems. You've been diagnosed everything with stigmatism to myopia to what was the other thing here? Retinitis pigmentosa. I mean, you're on and on and on. They claim you lack an enzyme, blah, 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 blah. You have deterioration. You have cataract to the point I cannot see. So we've talked about cataracts before, and understanding is what could be deteriorating the optic nerve, what could be deteriorating the retina, what could be causing all this inflammation, what could be causing this cholesterol plaquing called cataract, what could be causing this? This is acidosis, and this is what these videos are about. These videos are about the gigantic lymph system in the human body, and the problem man suffers with, and you see this. I feel sorry for you, my friend. Don't lose your sight. Get your lymph system moving, man. Go in, work on your kidneys. Work on your adrenal glands that controls the kidneys. Get in your bowels. Clean those bowels up. Use Lymphatic 1 capsules, a stomach and bowel formula. Do 2 kidney formulas. There is a formula called Visioplex. It does have raw eye tissue in there. Again, you can throw this stuff away when people have to eat organic meat. You could throw these parts away and nobody benefit from them. I don't think that's smart either. So if you're going to have meat eaters out there, then everybody use everything they can to help everybody. And I think that it's like somebody donating their organs to help someone else. Same thing, because you're not going to get to stop people from eating meat. You could say supply and demand, but I'll be honest with you, until man lifts his consciousness up, and when he does, he's going to be where you guys are. He's going to quit eating meat. Everything's going to happen. So as this movement happens, we won't need glandulars anymore. But right now, we've got some serious genetic weaknesses in glands. And until we really get using this stem cell idea and we perfect that to help, we really have got some serious issues, and the glandulars work in that way. So this Visualplex will help you, loaded with the bees and all the goodies. However, bilberry, all the goodies for this. You could also use our eye wash. It is an herbal formula. Use it topically. It'll start stimulating blood and lymph flow, and then use it internally. Causes the same thing, because this whole thing is about the lymph system. You got blood flowing okay, but you're going to lose that if you're not careful. With this cholesterol plaquing, you could lose vital blood flow to the different tissues of the eye. So, my friend, get your lymph system moving and you'll be okay, all right? You'll be okay. Thank you for all your great comments. I really do. And Kelly, we're trying to help you. I got your thing in here, but let's leave all the stuff. I know exactly what you got, what you're suffering with. Let's really grab this and run. I don't know if you're viewing YouTube anymore, but definitely grab it and run. We're trying our best to help you. Now's when you need your church to buy some of these. We're giving to it almost half price. There's just so many people like Kelly out there that we're trying, but we got to keep our doors open. My appointments I give free anyway to people like her. I never charge for helping people like that. Want to know the secret? Oh, you know what? I did like Lion Man. I had to laugh at that one. You're right. I do, and I appreciate you keeping me in check. But I was thinking, you could sue with love. I mean, because I'm not really a Gandhi type. I lost that years ago. I used to be very Gandhi, very Jesus, very Gandhi. But then I realized that if we wanted to make things happen, we had to grab the bull by the horns. I can passively allow the God force through, but then I realized, why am I here? I'm not here I'm here for it. I'm here because of it. I'm here because of all those things. I'm here to be the active factor within my creation. And so are you and everyone else. You're here to be the active factor. You make things happen or you don't make things happen. And you're dealing with positive and negative forces. I always say, sue them with a smile on your face. No, but you have to realize that today the power is so strong that hard for Gandhi consciousness to win, to be honest with you. But you can do it with love for sure. There's no question you can do things with love. I mean, I try to do everything with love. Want to know the secret? Want to move lymph? The Lymph Buster. Fresh lemons plus dark grape juice. Woohoo! Now, I told you, great Lymph Buster. You must have been doing this. That's good, man. Composer Tim Beek. I love that. JG, keep going, man. I don't think JG likes to hear us help her for some reason. Here, I'm watching your comments, I'm watching her comments, and it's like, if you're watching Kelly, let these guys help you. They're all doing it with love. They're all helping you with love because they want to see you better. You have to, as I said before, you have to let go of your illness. You don't have illness. You don't have something that's unrepairable. You have something, everything's totally curable always. So let all that go. Change your attention toward health. That's a positive focus. You're holding on to this negative, saying, oh, me. Now, I did like what you said at the end of the letter you sent us. The whole thing just bummed everybody out there, and a little concernful in that way. But then you said, all right, I'm ready to grab the bull by the horns. I'm ready to go. Okay, no more negative. We're going to go from here on. Past is yesterday. Now is raw, detoxing, getting into the body there, Kelly, and you're going to be well. But you got to let go, or you're bringing it with you. Kind of like Lion Man said, you don't carry things with you. Again, she obviously has already had a site set up where you can donate to her, a PayPal. A site set up where you can donate to her, PayPal. Does he do any videos simply what to eat? Yeah, you know, I could do some protocols on what to eat, Kelly, but you know what? I've never told anybody what to eat, but the categories to eat in, like fruits. Visit your produce section. That's your section. However, if you really want to dig deeper into the human body, limit it to fruits, berries, and melons. I don't have eat one cherry at 10 o'clock, have another cherry at 11 o'clock. That's crazy. Eat all you want. Eat as much as you want. Eat whenever. But what you eat is key here. Get out of that analytical thinking and get into the now and enjoy your intuitiveness. And when you're hungry, eat. But eat whatever fits in that category. If you don't like cherries, don't eat cherries. Listen to your body. What's your body craving? Not unnaturally, not parasitically, but what in the fruit and berry line sounds good to you. And go into that and follow that path. I don't try to dictate a person's life and what to eat. Categories, absolutely. Fruits, berries, and melons are my favorite categories. Fits our species perfect. Vegetables, okay. And you'll find when you get higher up, vegetables, you know, I just had a big salad for lunch, tasted really good, felt really good. I do every lunch. I have a very large salad. But then, you know, it's like, oh, a big bowl of fruit would have been better. But we don't have good fruit around here in Florida. I appreciate the iridology. I'm going to get more and show you what I've discovered that's outside of the norm, but anytime you take a lesson on it, somebody gives you a certificate. Jensen won. Matter of fact, Jensen and I were writing a discourse called Iridology, the Master Science. And I think when he passed, it ended up going to his son, which really was his daughter-in-law. And so the sad thing is she didn't believe in Jensen's work. So it's kind of a kick in the old butt, Ellen. But you should respect his work and let his work be his work. And if you disagree, then you start your own line of work. You don't insult the master, because a lot of us agreed with Dr. Jensen. And I could tell the public what he told me about his son and you guys, but I won't. But he disagreed with German iridology completely. Everybody knows that knew him well. And so we all learn, you know. But we were writing, I told him, I said, you know, everybody's writing these iridology discourses. We were on a cruise together. And I told him, I said, listen, you've got to start this a discourse series and giving people certificates, because you do your workshops and you get a certificate, but you really need to do a discourse series. Everybody's doing it that doesn't know half what you know. So he started Iridology, the Master Science. And I was writing the herbal and nutritional side of that in relationship to the eyes and stuff, and then he passed. But that was going to be a kick butt discourse series. Thanks for the mix it up. I appreciate that. I can't help but add a lot of the spirituality, what I think, into it. It's just my own thing, and forgive me, I just can't stop that. Healthy herbalist, I like your name there. Detox from smoking marijuana. First, I would like to thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for sitting there enduring all these videos. I don't know how you guys are doing it. He's an herbalist. He went to the School of Natural Healing through Dr. Christopher. I like that school. I think it's a great school. And Schultz, of course. I'm familiar with Richard. Nor the teachers emphasize the lymph system. Thanks. I appreciate that. That is the system. When you break it down, I'm a why guy. What's the bottom line here? Why isn't people getting better taking supplements? What's the bottom line? And that'll pull you into acids and into the lymph system. 42 years old, been on the mucus diet. Yeah, that you read Eric for sure. Vegetables, whole grain. Well, his whole grains and nuts and seeds. Dump those. Good. You stepped up, been all raw, perfect. I'm not taking lower bowel forming, kidney, blood cleansing herbs. Good. One thing, but the thing about Christopher's and Schultz, like those guys. No offense to any of them, but I don't believe in like his bowel formula. I like his powder, but I don't like his typical lower laxative. It's a laxative. Look at the laxative herbs in there. They're purgatives, and you can get addicted to that. I have used Christopher's number 2 when my number 5 doesn't work, and that's a really impacted person. But I don't use stimulants because stimulants innervate, and then I don't believe in high peppers and habaneros, and really I don't believe in overstimulating the mucosa, because there is more mucus production. It doesn't just move it; it creates more. So I don't. I think Richard has it in him to make better formulas. I think Richard has it in him to let go of Christopher's old consciousness. We have to grow, and this is what I'm telling you guys about me. I expect somebody to come along and do better. And when it comes to herbal formulas, we're way on down the road from Dr. Christopher's. You know, they're okay, you know, but they know nothing. And the company that was making it, I thought, was insulting Christopher by distilling for 7 days, and they were using commercial herbs. I know because the company contacted us. And it's like, whoa, you're calling the wrong people, man. 25 years smoking the weed. I stopped 3 months ago. And cleaning. Yeah, detox yourself. You could use the Lungs 2 formula. You could use 3-lung tea to help pull in there, breathe the vapors and get it down in there. You're going to naturally go through a healing crisis in your lungs, so you're naturally going to expectorate some of this stuff as you go along. And then you won't have that, get rid of the residual in there, and then you won't have the need to go smoke again. That'll do it. I mean, keep on the raw. You're doing good. You go down the line there. The fact that you were on all this raw and everything definitely helped with the smoke. If you're going to do marijuana or cannabis or whatever, use a vaporizer or use a water pipe, or better yet, make a tea. When they legalize it like they should, then we'll make it into tinctures, and that'll be so good for the nervous system. That's the ultimate way, I think, to take something there. And don't think of it as degeneration. Just go on with yourself. If you see that it's taking too much calcium out, pop you up a parathyroid glandular, or you know, you could work on the glands a little bit. Yeah. Well, thanks. Yeah, you're welcome to carry our herbal products and stuff. You know, this whole thing for me is, at my age, let's get this message out there. Let's get the world using herbs. Let's get the world regenerating tissue. Let's get the herbs. I just had an ophthalmologist in here that does surgeries, and I forget what she's called, but she gets it, and she's an incredible woman, and so she really, it just all clicks with the lymph system, and that is what's cool. Tina from Ontario, thanks. I love you too, Tina. It's an honor to have you too, sweetheart. Can you talk about eye floaters? I have, you know, many times here. 8 months, I am very emotional and clingy to husband. Well, it's your adrenals, honey. You know, work on your adrenal glands there, and get your kidneys going, get the lymph moving. That's what I'm saying. I mean, our adrenal formula is probably as strong as you're going to get without going to a glandular. If you don't mind taking glandulars, then I'd pop on desiccated adrenal glands maybe 2 or 3 times a day if you're that weak. How low? I can look at you and tell you got low blood pressure. So this is really important to get your adrenals up. Get your adrenals up, you get more neurotransmitters up, you strengthen the autonomic nervous system, and you emotionally get strong. Also, see if you got a weak thyroid. Are you cold? Make sure you're utilizing calcium. That way it gives you a little stronger self-image with yourself, and you'll be good, Tina. You know, clean the fungus out, too. They like to cling, too. I wanted to address severe panic, anxiety, and panic attacks, and this is the same thing. How interesting these two fit together here. But, yeah, I mean, the problem is we live in this world of neurotoxicity. We have thought of nothing of chemistry. We just make things. The world is a better place because of chemistry. Not really. I mean, I almost prefer living in a teepee, being vitally healthy like a Native American, as opposed to having plastic and inks and everything else around us where we've really had to destroy things. Talk about glandulars. I mean, we've destroyed a lot of things to have a lot of things, and it's like, So Be careful with neurotoxicity. Look at your house, see if you have any neurotoxicity around. Pesticides, herbicides, neurotoxins, certain perfumes, colognes. These things are neurotoxins. And you want to be real careful with neurotoxins because they're just going to bring on this chronic panic attacks and things and detoxify. If you've ever been under surgery, this exacerbates these things because these are neurotoxic events. So you really want to clean and detox that lymph system out and build that body up, build those adrenals up, and as you do, you'll build your myelin sheaths, you'll build all of this up. And this is what we're seeing, especially in the younger people, real genetically weak adrenals and kidneys. Since man chooses to eat meat and we like organic meat, then let's use the glands for our benefit in a therapeutic healing modality. When people choose to quit eating meat and we don't kill animals anymore, okay. By then, we will regenerate these tissues and we will then be in a good shape. Also, how do you address pain in the frontal lobe? Well, consistent pain. Could be pituitary, could be any hypothalamus area, could be any. Move those lymphs. And this is real important that you move those lymphs. You're not draining your lymph system. And this pituitary region could be slamming your adrenals even more. So you've got to clean up your bowels here. This is vital. Remember, the transverse colon directly affects the brain. So you've got to get those kidneys, you've got to go after your adrenals, you've got to go around those bowels, get up there, get up with upper circulation, brain and nerve. I would do those two right off. Also, move those lymphs because pain is always an acid event. And so move this out and get this out of here because, you know, I always say, honey, where did I park the car syndrome? That's where you're going if you're not careful. And so you get that moving, okay? Real important that you move that out. Oh, that's Kelly. Okay, Kelly. That's your lymph. Lymph, adrenals. But that goes for anybody with these problems. A ton of you guys out there like that. Not just Kelly, it's all over the place. It's because our lymph systems are backed up head to toe. You know, we're just backed up head to toe, and we just have to move these lymphs. And you guys, I'm so proud of all of you guys. And, you know, this is a channel where if someone comes along and wants to hang on stuff, you're not going to like us. Because most of us are way on down the road. We're going to tell you to let go. And all you guys helping Kelly, thank you. I love you. You know, Kelly, love them because they're there trying to help you. And we're all doing this with love. Accept that love, take in their guidance and information. They're just being loving to you and head on down the line. You've got to start focusing. Join us into the positive flow of the current of God and love and healing. Forget about diseases. Forget about illnesses. Understand what causes pain. That's the lymph system. Mix PTIX. Yeah, appreciate the iridology. Thank you, Yoga. Thank you. Ah, pretty dog. Yeah. Question concerning my 72-year-old mother. I will forward her your response. She is looking into having surgery for her varicose veins and needs your help. Okay. I'm so worried about this, I cannot begin to tell you. You know what? Good question. This is an excellent question. She really needs to hear this. To begin with, her legs are covered, seriously covered with bulging blue veins. Good question. This is an excellent question. She really needs to hear this. To begin with, her legs are covered, seriously covered with bulging blue veins. You could have her talk to Jennifer, her mom. Now, this is a case, I've never seen a case major varicose veins. She's a smoker, of course, so she was sucking calcium out of her connective tissue in her vascular system. So, of course, they herniated, creating the varicose veins. So, Soon as she developed lung cancer, she went total raw, of course, and total grapes, pulling this out. And of course, I'm popping up her parathyroid so she could strengthen those vascular walls, because if you can't do chemotherapy on someone like that, or you're definitely going to cause an aneurysm. They're right there anyway. So trying to repair these veins, she could run the risk of blood clots. She already does run the risk of blood clots. That's why fruits, berries, and melons by far over vegetables will help her to keep blood clot free. Much more over vegetables. So fruits, berries, and melons are key for her. At the same time, this is where a glandular called Calma Plus. Now there is a little CalMeg in there, but when you're that serious, you start on that formula and you get her off of all protein, which is sucking that calcium out of those veins as well, and you get her on high fruits and berries and melons, and those veins will strengthen up, tone up, and tighten up and pull in, whether they're spider or varicose veins. This is real, real important. They can't repair that, because if you're seeing it on her legs, guess what? She probably has it all through her, so she is an aneurystic case coming, and you don't want to walk her down that road. She wants to turn around and walk back to Wellville, because she could pop in her head anytime, she could pop anywhere, and down she goes, and that's it. Aortas pop all the time on people. Generally, we don't save you if your aorta pops, generally speaking. So she needs to get her parathyroid, stop eating proteins. 1 foot is practically blue. She was told that this was a result of childbirth. Oh, give me a break. She had me and my 2 sisters 1 year apart. She's worn slacks her entire life and is very self-conscious about it. Went to her doctor, gave her all this 2 minutes, and he told her of stripping all the veins. They run serious blood clot thinking, and that doesn't strengthen. Stripping your veins do not strengthen the connective tissue in the walls. It's like a hernia repair. Okay, we'll screw a mesh in there. Okay, but you still haven't fixed the problem. You know, and that's what we want to do, is fix the problem. Your mom wants to fix this. 72 years old, she's still a little young there. Is this safe to have your veins stripped? Of course it's not. A lot of blood clots can happen from that. She wants to fix the problem, not address the symptom like this. And this will tone her skin and everything else, by the way. And if she's got a little sagging bladder right there, it'll straighten that up too. What is the causative factor of the collapse of these veins? Just that. The loss of calcium means too many acids going into the blood, whether it's high protein diets or smoking or anything like that. You see it on smokers a lot, because when you dump acids in the blood has to respond, because it can't stay acidic and keep you alive, remember, over 4 minutes or so. So your body has to steal something to maintain that base chemistry balance, and of course that something is mostly calcium, and of course it's going to steal it out of its walls, and of course you're going to lose the integrity of the walls. And that's what's happened here. Told her what they would do and run out the door. I told her to run as well. Yeah, run out the door, honey. She had thyroid surgery. Oh, all right. Now looky here, guys. She had thyroid surgery when she was 18, and the doctor severed her thyroid gland. She has a scar that looks like a necklace. Well, she wasn't healing then. She was having lymphatic problems then. She's way too acidic. That's obvious. So she didn't heal well, so she got a big scar out of that. The more acidic you are, the bigger the scar, and then you get adhesions. She has a scar that looks like a... She had to take, unless calcium supplements are... Oh, no. More medical background. She's also had trouble and headaches that last for days, bone spurs in her feet, and mitral valve prolapse. Can we link bone spurs? Can we link mitral valve prolapse? That's a valve in the heart that's weak, and lets blood regurgitate back. What weakens valves? What weakens connective tissue? What pulls calcium out of the bones? Acids. Now, does she have her parathyroid glands? That's what you need to know. You haven't said they extracted her thyroid, they removed her thyroid, all of it, 1 lobe, 2 lobes. You want to find out, because if they took out her parathyroid gland, ooh, I would see if I could get a medical doctor to give me some parathormone. I don't even know if they make it. and then take calcium supplements. You're taking calcium supplements won't do any good, and it could cause her arthritis because she needs that hormone from the parathyroid gland to utilize calcium. Can't just take it. You need that parathyroid hormone. And right here, look at this, guys. This is a good case. See this? So Dana, you've got to make sure, find out if she's got a parathyroid. If she does, the Calma Plus would be perfect. If she doesn't, then you might be you're going to be more advantageous to take that over just pure calcium, taking the glandular. But I don't even know how good that's going to do, because it's the hormone the gland produces that's essential to calcium utilization. I know they have calcitonin, but parathormone. Oh, this is what I'm talking about. This medical consciousness has ripped the human species apart. For what purpose? Oh, I can say for sure, Jim. Oh, thanks, Scott. Thank you, BO37 Store. Thanks. I appreciate that. I really appreciate your love there, man. I have too much raw now. Oh, good. Using the herbs, trying to heal entire body due to IC. Again, thanks for answering me to how to heal IC. My other big issues still are, what the heck is that? I'm not sure what that is. I'll look that up, okay? I'm just a country boy, and you guys are throwing me million-dollar words. Yeah, but yeah, you're exactly right there, man. You're exactly right. You know, you move your lymph, you get rid of that pain and burning. Pain and burning. Acid, 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 acid. Ow, ow, ow. I'll look that up more. Inform myself more. This one question is, can you give your thoughts on cigar smoking when one has COPD? Ah, Debbie, this must not be for you. Oh, man. Well, I'd say do like my grandfather, chew it. I don't know. You know what? COPD, any of them, from asthma on, is neurological. Then add all the congestion and then the destruction of the lung tissue through smoke. Put yourself in a compromised way. Some people, do you ever see that commercial on TV where they squeeze that sponge full of tar? That's nasty. And that's only 1 pack a day. So it's bad. There's no question about it. We don't understand what acids do. It's the acids, you know. And so we have to understand about acids. Whoever this you're referring to, Debbie, I doubt if it's you. I can tell by the question you ask. It's probably for your dad or someone. But he's on a death sentence. He's going down the road killing himself. And, you know, does he wear oxygen yet? If he doesn't, he's gonna. I mean, I love that little oxygen thing, little buzz with the oxygen thing. I mean, that's crazy. You got to get his kidneys. Here's the adrenal gland connection. He definitely has weak kidneys and adrenals. Probably has some prostate if he's a male. But of course, you're killing yourself. It's acids. Use a water pipe. Put a cigar, break it up, put it, and burn your tobacco in a water pipe, or chew it, or make you cigar tea, cigar tobacco tea. My dad smoked Charles Dinsby till he got older, and then he just sat there and chewed on it. Yeah, thanks for the information on this YS Eco Bee Farms. That was good. They got a lot of nice products. YS Organic Bee Farms. Looks like they have some good nectar there. Yeah, this iridology basics are available online. Absolutely. You know, get books and read them. Dr. Jensen's big book, gosh, volume 2, that was an incredible book. Just the plates for that, the color pictures in his book was $100 grand. And one of the things he was hoping is I would give him or loan him that money. I did not have it at the time, but that's a lot of money for just plates. So much information you've down to. Thanks for that, Lukemer. Appreciate that. Now, let's see if I go on here. Well, we're up to 2,000, over 2,000 subscribers. I think that's pretty good. You know, I don't expect a lot of people to understand this level because it's almost too simple. So you guys have really got to hand it to you. You're really doing well. you know, not a lot of people are ready for truth at some of these higher levels, and I understand that. So I applaud you all. I think we're doing really well here. I think the fact that you all around the world are just really coming together. I know that I've worked with a lot of folks all over this world for years, and I really wish I could set up clinics in your countries and really get things moving. And you're the doorways, you know, and so we'll keep working with all of you, and you know that's our goal. We just feel that we're here on a mission of that. Full heart, street magic. It sounds like you're having a healing crisis. Yeah, that was a bit strong. That and we took it off. We actually took it off. I told Chris yesterday just take it off the pharmacy website because it is a real strong. If you've got a cancer though, and you got a big tumor, you might want to use that one and use a capsule in the morning and a capsule at night. But it is really, really strong, and it'll really detoxify you quick. So that's what happened. Full heart and street magic. It was really pulling on you bad. But yeah, even without that, we have a lot of skin issues. A lot of people go through a lot of rashes and a lot of tear on the skin. But I try to do this so harmoniously and rhythmatically so you don't suffer. I'm trying my best to do that and develop a program that you can live with that feels good most of the time. You are going to have healing crises and you're not going to feel good during them. This was a radical one. I think really it was because of that's already a serious problem when you have cystic acne, but I mean it just shows you how bad your lymph system was, street magic. But don't stop. Don't give up hope. We'll back you down and get a better rhythm, a slower rhythm, because it sounds like your kidneys just ain't getting it for you, and that's real important. You get those adrenals up for the steroids and the neurotransmitters that turns on the kidneys. Real important to make your journey more comfortable. Still might have an outbreak on the skin. That is very possible. I know it's painful, so I apologize for that. Stay away from any acid fruits like pineapples and stuff. And make sure your citruses are real ripe. I'd say more with the grapes in the subacid category and that sort of thing. Here is what my current doctor said to share with Dr. Morris. I told him I was going to start working with Dr. Morris. We are all used to that model of healthcare. However, what we find is that it is all interference to normal function. I have had a number of autoimmune patients get well as we cleared structural and chemical interferences of the spine. Also, you definitely have neurological interference as the nervous system controls all functions of the body. Well, you also have to adequately produce neurotransmitters to maintain myelin sheath integrity. You know, it's funny, the nervous system, when you run low neurotransmitters, you decay the myelin sheath, you decay the nervous system. And of course, the lymph system is going to go down. The lymph system goes down. This sets up systemic acidosis. It also sets up lymphatic acidic pressure. So you can get pressure in the cerebellum. This, of course, is going to affect nerve. Is this a chiropractor? But it's going to set up the impulses going down. So you're going to have flipping blood pressure. 1 minute it's good, next minute it's in the dumpers. Yeah, you're going to have that, and it's standing up and everything. This cerebellum is a big portion, but how do you fix that? You move your lymph system, and just like you said, you had frontal lobe pain. Yes, what causes that? It's not your blood causing the pain, it's your lymph system causing the pain. So you really this goes back to your lymph system and how that has interfered with the production of one, neurotransmitters, and two, that effect upon all your tissues here. But again, you know, it sounds like you were born with genetically weak adrenals that affected kidneys and then your lymph system. You know, most lymph systems are bad today. And that affects spine. That pulls the spine out because muscles control the skeletal system, and you've got muscles are nothing but cells with two major fluids, blood and lymph. So you got to go down that road, man. As far as your lymph, we would have been removing interference to your body so your lymph and everything else functions better. This guy doesn't understand the lymph system and the kidneys, I can tell you. We had the 5-HTP mouth sprays and the Endotrex mouth spray. Oh, give me a break. Thanks, though, my friend. No offense to that, but yeah, they're going to get them at all. And you don't want to run the effect of interfering with adrenal function. There's a much higher way to heal, and this is it, I can tell you. I've been a physician 40 years. There's nothing any higher. I've seen a lot of physicians out there. Your protocol doesn't seem to be working for me. My symptoms have gone from mild and manageable to unbearably painful. Oh, yeah, this is the street magic. Absolutely, man. I tell you, this is lymph node, those lymph node capsules, real strong. So yeah, everything went bam, and that's what happened when we try to move lymph more aggressive than the kidneys will allow. That's exactly what you see there, street magic, and that's all that was. It wasn't working. It wasn't working for you. It was working too aggressive for you. You got to slow way down. This is, I have a question. Let me see. Yes, I have a voice disorder called spasmodic dysphonia. My vocal cords tighten up when I speak instead of relaxing. My voice always sounds very strained, and sometimes the words don't come out. I have been eating raw fruits for about 6 weeks now. I'm really hoping to start singing. Oh, yeah, definitely. I'll tell you something, too. Probably expect a little bit of a sore throat. I'm telling you, probably going to go there. And then you're going to cough up some nasty stuff out of those vocal cords. They're going to break loose, and you could get really rocking. You could lose your voice here for a little while, too, so don't get upset. But during these healing crises like that, you could happen with that, so do expect that, and don't be upset. Your body's going to expectorate that out, and all that inflammation and all that mucus and the swelling and all that's going to come out of there, and you'll be in good shape. I would probably, if you want to do this sooner than later, I'd probably do the lungs too, only because you have a lot of expectorants, loosens hardened mucus and stuff, definitely upper respiratory and stuff. The 3-lung tea, breathe the fumes and drink it, I think very valuable for you. Even the Heal All tea, but I do the 3-lung tea for a while. You can do the Heal All tea and hold it in your mouth and gargle, but systemic issues. You got to work on your colon. You got to work on your GI tract. You got to work on your kidneys and adrenals, and at the same time move lymph. And you'll take care of this. Seen this, and you could try the antispasmodic to see, but you're not going to get relief until you clean that voice box out. That's a lymph system in the voice box. What is this? Oh, tonsils. Well, there you go. They were removed at 5. See, so that compromised you right there. That made your lymph even harder to move then. So they compromised your voice box. You get this out of there because the cancer road is the road you're walking down here. So get that out of there as soon as you can. Okay? You're 52 years old now. I had toxemia with both child pregnancies. Oh, well, here you go. You haven't been filtering well all your life, honey. You got GI tract weakness, you have kidney weakness, adrenal gland weakness. Your lymph is backed up all through you. That's why the toxemia. You got to move this out of here. Get this voice cleaned up. But this is something you have all through your body. Get this done now at 52. Or it's going to be, more serious, and you don't want to wait any longer. Just grab this bull by the horn, sweetheart, and take off with this. Rosemary. Yeah, honey, take off. You'll be okay, but just get this, really get yourself up there on fruits, berries, and melons, even lemon juice, and really pull. Lemon juice will be really good for you, really astringent. Remember, sore throats, little loss of voice here, but it's going to pull and clean this out of you, and real important to do that. We see a lot of voice box cancers, esophageal cancers are popular as all get out now. Clean up the bowels. If this is you that I'm looking at, big time adrenals and kidneys, and that's a lifelong thing for you, so get that going now. Good thing you're heading down that road right now. Owen, do you think if one is going to bother doing a mono fruit fast that they should choose grapes, apples, or another citrus or subacid fruit group? I'd probably do it. If you could get oranges like I had, God, man, Owen, you'd just be sucking those down like candy. But I've never seen them anywhere, from California or anywhere. This was old Bass Groves up in Bradenton. Man alive. And then the state had the canker scare. The state made it so, this is another point, here you go. The state made it so hard for small groves and all the restrictions that most of them went out of business. You had to be a bigger, wealthy grove to stay in business. Thank you, state of Florida. But we just keep sending you love. That'll help. Choose grapes, apples, and another citrus or stuff. I would choose grapes. On a mono diet, probably they're the most readily available. The darker ones, at least the red ones, are mostly gotten, unless you get really good organic citruses. But I think the grapes are going to do well. I've never fasted long-term on apples. I love apples. Tree ripe. I mean, we had apple groves around where I lived in Indiana. But I've never had the desire to fast on them, although I consider the apple one of the most powerful foods on the planet. I mean, they're so great. They're incredible. So I've never myself fasted on them. I've never polarized to do that. I'd be really interested in doing your video. Oh, thanks. Yeah, no, the video DVD course is $450, and that's a certified $350 without the certification. But Owen, Rock Grove, Angel Bee. Thanks for emphasizing the importance of the lymphatic system. I tell you what, again, I had this. She's an ophthalmologist and she's an MD ophthalmologist, and she grabbed this lymph, and now she's really picking that up. And I love an MD who wow, that all ties together and it clicks. Now they're focused. I love that. So yeah, the lymph is so important. I had dry skin brushing session the other day, followed by self-massage. How did you feel? The olive oil felt good all day, and I'm sure. Yeah. I'm going to make this right. Yeah, good, Angel B. Absolutely, good job. To say anything negative about nettles, a plant's got to protect. I know. That's the other thing. Stinging nettles. Okay, so you know I just never overly use nettles. Okay, I do have it in my kidney formula stuff, so, you know, stinging nettles. I just finished viewing the last of the Detox Course DVDs. Thank you. I appreciate that, guys. I really do. Teresa, is that your dog? I'm so glad that you mentioned this. Oh, thanks. Baby steps, absolutely. I don't mind baby steps. COPD. Now, a COPD, and even you, Street Magic, you might have to take some baby steps. Now, you might have to go slow a little bit. COPD, particularly because of the breathing issue. COPD or asthma, you can use this antispasmodic as an inhaler. You've got to keep breathing, and some of this mucus in the lungs is hard. And getting this stuff up isn't always fun. I will tell you, I respect a lunger because, I mean, this is your breathing. And so it can be fearful. Tied to the autonomic, tied to the adrenal glands. It can be very fearful when you're breaking up congestion and you're getting pneumonia-like symptoms. So I understand that. Some castor oil packs on the chest definitely helps to break up mucus, harden sputum. Stuff like that. So I don't mind baby steps to this. I'm geared differently because of the clients we get. So I don't really mess around. If you can tell, I'm more in high gear. So Lion Man, that's kind of my unbalance. But you know, I mean, I got all these people coming to me, and I've been busy. Years ago, we worked 7 days a week till midnight. I just had to cut that off because we just, you know, burning out bad. So. I'm geared for action, and I'm trying to be in the now with action. That's my spiritual lesson. How do I maintain the allness, but have action? Passive action, if you will, but have action, because I know that I have to have action in my universe. That's why I'm here. I'm not here to have it done for me. I'm here to do it myself. And that's why I do these videos, and all of you. All of you are such beautiful because you know you have to do it yourself. And I think Kelly's moving there in her thinking. You've got to do this yourself. You got to quit listening to all these docs and really understand what you're up against. You've tried all those things. Kick up to the high level of where you are. Ride this bull for 6 months, you don't feel any better, then you can put on YouTube that I didn't know what I was talking about. The challenge is out there. That was pretty good. May the 2,000th subscriber. I'm real happy that we're growing like this. I think that's really neat. I've always seen that this level of understanding hasn't always been accepted for different reasons, you know. Difficult for some people to stay raw, difficult to get up into these higher levels. That's why generally we only get the insane cases who have nowhere else to go. But we've got such a reputation through the years for healing those that other people with more minor problems come to us. And so in the future we're going to need some health counselors here to help me. Oh yes, Katrina, 1989. I have chronic EBV virus for 6 years, still activated, with inflammation in my eyes, gum, intestines. Think maybe from this virus or infection. Well, let's back up and realize that that is a byproduct of lymph stagnation and acidosis. Virus involvement, where you actually have adhesion of viruses, is where you're actually weakening your cells. Inflammation is just acidosis, honey. So you really got to move your lymph. And this it sounds like a tape recorder that's going around and around and around the same. But if you look at the body, and I think I've laid that out pretty simple, that's what you find. Bunch of cells, two major fluids. Bunch of cells, two major fluids. And this will all come to that. In that simplicity, it empowers you to heal and heal yourself. Get your kidneys, get your adrenals here, sweetheart. Go after that. Walnut Hall, yeah, but you know what? No. I mean, this, you still have swollen glands, stiff necks. That's where the medical profession has got everybody steered to the messenger. You don't kill the messenger. You don't kill what nature uses to manipulate its creation. You have to understand what you've done in the process of creating this, and that's the lymph system and the foods that hurt the body to create this lymph system stagnation, which you go back to the proteins and the weakening of the kidneys. You go back to the weakness of the adrenals, the inability to move lymph. You've got your swollen glands, stiff neck. That's all lymph. That's not a viral problem, not a bacterial problem. That's a lymphatic problem. That is inflammation, their word. But the reason for the inflammatory response is acidosis. And that's swelling, that's pain, that's stiffness, that's tightness, that's the swelling of the lymph nodes. That right there tells you where the problem is. Lymph nodes, lymph. I think medical doctors, lymph nodes, lymph. Read my lips. That's simple. Learn the kidney connection. That's where the failing is. And learn what turns on the kidneys, the adrenals, probably even pituitary. And learn what turns on the kidneys, the adrenals, probably even pituitary, and go after that. And help people detox, and you'll go way up. Thank you, Lion Man. I hadn't heard from you for a while. Keep me in balance, Lion Man. You're a good dude. Don't worry about mixing any combination of your herbs. Someone asked me about mixing any combination of our herbs. No, they're all going down the gut. They all know where to go. They all have their own consciousness. They all know where to go. I love mixing different herbs. It works better, I think. Single formulas, you're sitting there and it's okay. You get more power when you have less and more people working together. Us all working together as a team is a lot more powerful than just me. So that's why I love teamwork, and we all are a great team. You guys are doing well. You're helping people. I just love you guys. You guys are great. This is all about mouth, teeth problems, periodontitis. My four front upper teeth are being held in place by wires. Ooh. And bonding. I have so much bone loss that if those wires were removed, the teeth will fall right out. There is space between the teeth and the remaining bone that there is often infection and white pus and blood coming out every day. Also now my lower front teeth are starting to exhibit the same symptoms. I used to be a smoker, but I have quit 2 years ago. I'm only 30 years old. Oh, bro. And I'm starting to lose all my teeth. I've been trying to eat all raw fruits and veggies. I know that will have an effect. Yeah, you know what? I would definitely use the Heal All tea, my friend, and make a tea, and don't make it too strong. Maybe 1 teaspoon for 3 cups of water. Hold it in my mouth, and then put it and spit it out. Take another sip, hold it in your mouth, and let that tea absorb into those gums and start pulling that lymph, and start locking those gums. Bone regeneration. This is a lymph stagnation problem. I bet $5 you got lymph nodes swollen all here. You need to move this lymph system. You need to move this lymph system. You need to get these kidneys filtering. You need to fix your transverse bowel. Clean up your bowels, get your kidneys filtering, get your adrenals up, get your lymphs moving at the same time. This is a great case where you could use that Calma Plus. That's parathyroid granular with calcium, magnesium. That's going to help give you bone growth faster. But bone growth faster means you got to move lymph. Because if you don't move lymph, those acids just sit there causing infection and breaking you down. Bacteria is secondary. All this blood, all this, you're just highly acidic, just tearing your teeth up, your bones up. And that's all acidosis that's doing that. And that's the lymph system that's not going anywhere in you fast. This is very important because this isn't just the jaw. You've got a brain sitting on top here. And there could be some serious ramifications from this in the future. You got eyes, you got heads, there's all types of problems that can spring out from this. From deterioration of the eyes, from MACD to retina detachment to deterioration. I mean, all kinds of things. Brain lesions, Honeywell to park the car syndromes. I mean, this isn't just here. So you really got to move your lymph. Very important to get that Heal All tea and make yourself a nice tea. 1 teaspoon probably for 3 cups. Hold it in your mouth. Sit there while you're watching TV, maybe over to the side a bit, and really. Or whatever you do at night, and sit there and wash your mouth out and hold that Heal All tea in your gums for a while so it'll draw and pull and heal. But internally, you got to regenerate bone tissue. You can't regenerate cells in an acid medium. Remember that. Acids deteriorate. So you've got to remove the acid medium to get good bone regeneration. But we've seen jaws regenerate. We've seen all of this. So you'll be successful. You got to understand what we're talking about in these videos. I would start from day one, go back and review these, get a good handle of the lymph. You're going to use 2 kidney formulas. You're going to use, say, lymphatic 4 for a while, jump to lymphatic 3 if you want, use stomach and bowel number, whatever you need, and use the, say, lymphatic 1 capsules. At the same time, boy, I would really use that Heal All tea as a topical type of treatment internally, and hold it in your mouth and let that tea absorb in there and start strengthening your gums up and pulling these acids out of the gums. I have an adult daughter with Lyme's. I dress Lyme's in another one there. This is, my dad is 50 years old and overweight. He's addicted to dairy products. Yuck. Yuck. Oh, man. I can't imagine being addicted to dairy products. Just the thing that's going to kill him. You got to get these dairy products. I mean, I don't know what to say. You know, dairy products, I don't know. Definitely the most congesting foods on the planet. The most mucus-forming foods, undeniable. The most lymph-clogging foods, undeniable. And the lymph system is what it is. He's getting a little belly on him. Have you had cases where people just didn't want to accept that something has to change? How many times, honey? What can I do about it? I'm afraid that he will take it as far as he can living in this old pattern. Well, I don't think you can do anything about it. I think you can lead by example and tell him to start viewing these YouTube videos because, you know, he either cares about himself or he doesn't. And sometimes males get into these patterns and hard to get him out of that. Maybe he's not real happy inside of himself. Maybe he doesn't care about himself enough to take care of himself. You know, that sort of thing. It's hard. We've been brainwashed about dairy products is where we get our calcium. But when you see the commercial for orange juice and they say, well, 1 glass of orange juice will give you more calcium than 4 glasses of milk. Now, how could they say something like that? Fruits are not overly high in calcium. They say something like that because they know that when you pasteurize milk, you bond the chemistry. And then it's literally a nightmare, if not impossible, for your body to even use the calcium at all. When you start bonding, coagulating chemistry to the point where it's hard, you bond this in ultra pasteurization, you're getting that milk almost up to plastic. So that's healthy for you. And then you have the FDA going out and raiding these places, like with the raw milks and stuff, and it's like, this is insanity. Now, we could keep living with it and just send them a lot of love, and they someday might get together and change their mind. I've tried that. Rosicrucians have been using that technique for years. Never seen it work well, but they have been. Man has to stand up for his rights. You know? I think Jesus did more than Gandhi. Let me see. I love the testimony he did with CW. Oh, yeah. You know what? I was going to pull CW's chart and just see her whole story for you and go over it, Mark. I'll put this to the side and remember that. I forgot to do that. It was a breast cancer. I can't remember how much chemo that she had, if she had any. I just can't remember too much. She was a well-known musician, traveled the world, got pretty down there, but boy, she's coming back beautifully. It took her down, but now she's filling out. She's just looking beautiful. And so, yeah, I'm proud of her. She did the do and came out of it. Yeah, the residual kick. You know, you guys catch on real good in your listening, and I just can't say enough good things about you guys. I really can't. Radiation and chemo has a residual kick. Radiation has a residual kick up to 20 years, according to most oncologists. One lady, as I said, was in 26 years after she had radiation treatment to a breast cancer, and she had breast cancer back from that. And they told her it was from the radiation. Chemo has a much quicker kick, probably within a few months to just a few years. Now, I had a lady in today that only had 4 rounds of chemo. That was 5 years ago. And then she had 30-some rounds of radiation. I would have seen more, but she had George Burns genes. And someone was asking me about chemo. How come some people live past the 5-year mark with chemo? And that's George Burns genes. She only had 4 rounds of it, though, and she couldn't tolerate it anymore. And that's with a strong constitution. My concern is the 30-some rounds of radiation. Why in the world would these people, I'm sorry, Lion Man, but these people have to be held accountable because you can't keep destroying. Although, if you look at it from the highest high, there's no death, suffering maybe, but I think we can grow out of that. I think, you know, at one level you make statements, and at other levels you sit back and make them detached. I can make a statement detached. I can be part of a lawsuit against the FDA, and I'd be totally detached about it. Just hold accountable to the laws of nature and man and, you know, things like that. Because if you're seeing the power of the negative forces right now, and you can give them a lot of love, I do certainly, but they're hell-bent. And like Germany, I get a lot of guys. I got a guy yesterday from Germany, and they can't get the herbs in. They signed on Codex. When they sign on Codex here, if they do, then you guys will really be screaming. But we could send them a lot of love. But I can tell you, Canada's fighting that now. Codex strictly limits your ability to get supplements, and mostly by prescription. You can't get any good products from other countries. I mean, it's just it's the World Health Organization closing the gap and making the medical establishment ruin the world. This is what's happened. So let me see. Let me go on here now. Did she go through the mastectomy, chemo? Oh yeah, we're talking about CW. Yeah. I know she went through the mastectomy. I know she got it back. I think she had a tumor back from that. I'll get her file and go over it with you. She's not going to mind. She's now teaching. She quit being a world-renowned musician, and now she's teaching people to do this. Isn't that great? She felt she had a higher calling. Unfortunately, with a little mix-up in reposting the videos, your response got deleted. Ooh, how's that? Could you go over? Yeah, residual kick. You can't take an acid that is 10 to 50 times hotter than the acid that damaged the cells in the first place to make that cell become a cancer cell, or cells become cancer cells. You can't take an acid that's 10 times or 50 times hotter and expect you're going to live from it. When 3 pH is just breaking your cells down in your body, which your body's made of cells, and then you're going to remedy that with an acid 10 to 50 times hotter. That's criminal. That's like me giving you guys Drano. It's okay. It'll burn a little, but it's okay. Take it. Most people are going to die from taking it. So all I can say is that this is a bad, bad, bad thing. Man is just digging on that lower states of consciousness right now. And so this is a bad, bad thing. And there's always a residual kick. There's even a residual kick when removing the prostate. There's a residual kick taking Lupron, which suppresses testosterone. I think I told you this professor down here had his prostate removed, and his PSAs were up in the hundreds. And then he went on Lupron, and they went from 0 and started climbing and climbing and climbing and got up to 90. And he told me, and he was on my program, he says, why did my PSAs keep going up, and I'm doing all the raw and everything else? And I just happened to remember that he told me he was on Lupron. So I asked him, are you still on Lupron? He said, well, yeah. I said, well, why? That suppresses your adrenal glands, and that controls the kidneys. He dropped that like a hot potato, and his PSAs went from 80 to 40 in 2 weeks. Now, what was that? So this is what I'm saying, is that you can't suppress the body, you can't cut, you can't remove unless essential. You can't ablate. You just can't. Look at this one person that had ablation for AFib, and then they had to put a pacemaker in her because she wasn't firing at all. And then they had to put a pacemaker in her because she wasn't firing at all. What was that? I mean, so that is a case where regeneration is very key. Neural regeneration, and there is neurological regeneration. High fruit, high berries, high melons, the brain and nerve formula, circulation formulas. There is regeneration neurologically, thank God, because some of this damage these medical people are doing has to be repaired. We have to go clean up this mess that's going on here. And residual kick. If you get real raw and get on the herbs and move your lymph system, it's possible to keep the residual kick down to minor. But your cancer markers are generally going to go up a little bit. Some explode up with this residual kick. Others climb up, and people always ask me, well, my cancer markers are going up. I'm on the raw. Yeah, but you got that residual kick. There is not a raw food more powerful than battery acid. Here to tell you. You know, when you start getting down in these 1.5 pHs, there's not too many plants that can tolerate that and buffer that. Not too many. That's really hot and a very serious issue to treat somebody with these type of acids. Giving anybody these kind of acids is insanity. Just totally insane. Totally unbalances me sometimes to think about these poor souls that they make suffer with this kind of thinking. It's insanity. So whoever this is, you grab a hold of this person and tell them to get their body cleaned out and strengthen those cells, because the body will terminate them if not. My take on breast implants are simple. If you're not bothering you, okay, stay on raw. If you have low-level inflammation, you'll spend the rest of your life with no problems. You're moving your lymph. You'll never have any problems with them, as far as I can tell you. And you shouldn't reject them. Someone works here has them, and they've been on raw for years and years and never seen a problem. This imperfection kills. Man, interesting. You guys are good. Yeah, this was a good comment. My body swells after I eat dairy or drink dairy, raw pasteurized organic dairy from the local farm, goat or cow. Absolutely, honey. Ugh. Then, what about the green, the color green? I want to put my herbs in green bottles. I love that because you put green in the sunlight and it accelerates the healing power of whatever liquid's in that bottle. I was going to add gemstone therapy to these herbs too, but I thought, oh, how far out can we take them? Because look at this poor guy, Street Magic already. It's already aggressive on him. So there's a point where, you know, the body can only handle so much aggression. But boy, I love to have gem. But we're talking about inorganic materials now. So, but vibrations like no other. There was a book called Gifts of the Gemstone Guardians. Gifts from the Gemstone Guardians. Read that book. That was a really good book. Talking about the karmatic reasons why gems are on this planet, what they're here for, the consciousness that are here to help this planet maintain. Just neat stuff. I used to play with gemstones and stuff, and just the power some of these emanate are unreal. And so I was going to add some gemstone therapy to these herbs, but, you know, I don't know. But I'd like to have green bottles, but I have to buy them by the hundreds of thousands. We don't have that kind of money. But I would love to have bought, you know, green bottles instead of amber. That would have powered up these herbs even more. So, yeah, I love the color green now. Good thinking. Good questions. Yeah, I know. This same guy here, Dano, man. Yeah, when they put the protein powder and the milk in the smoothie. That's not a true smoothie. I don't know where they're coming from putting protein powders and dairy products and yogurts and smoothies. Yuck! I don't know. This is not a smoothie. But it's an augmented smoothie. I mean, that's man's mind right there. Right there. Tells it right there. Yellow rings around the pupils mean. If you have yellow rings around the pupil, that's generally a sulfur ring. More orange yellow, that's a sulfur ring. When you're detoxifying, watch your stools, because if it's sulfur, you're going to see orange to yellow stools. That's going to come out in your stools like it is in your eye. Generally right around the pupil like that, that's in your stomach and bowels. Could irritate them, cause gas in your body, but that will come out as you detoxify in your stools. A lot of people have the sulfur rings, and that means you probably have a lot of fungal problems you have to deal with here as well. Thanks, Dan, for the comment here about the healer. I appreciate it, my friend. I try. You know, I try. Don't know everything, but I certainly try to look at this and try to treat it as common sense as I can, because, you know, I try different things through the years, and I keep coming back to this same thing. Because I've got one of those science minds. My library is pretty extensive. I got one at home like this. I do have Dr. Jensen's library too, and it's like, all right, but I'm so tired of reading other people's states of consciousness. I want to know. I want to know my own self. I'm my own. That's why I tell you guys, we are the Sherlock Holmes. Let's investigate. Let's tear this apart. We've got the basic facts. All right. Now we apply them to symptoms. We apply them to whatever we need to. And that's what I want to be. We want to be the Sherlock Holmes. We don't want to read someone else's opinion because most of them suck. Most of these opinions are people that have ideas or have done things. And yeah, there's a lot of healing. Like someone said the other day, herbs can have 10 different things they can do. That's the beauty of herbs. And that, I think it confuses the medical doctors. No offense, but it's like one herb can do 10 different things. Pharmaceuticals can have 10 different side effects. Imperfection kills. Brother has autism. Definitely clean the neurotoxins out of your brother. Get his adrenals on. That's adrenals. Hit those adrenals, kidneys, move his lymph system. Clean those if any neurotoxicity out of him. That'll correct him up. That'll bring him way up in his ability to perceive and hold attention. I would use. He's pure evil. An upper circuit brain and nerve on him too. If you can get it down him. He had McDonald's every day if he could. The sad thing is, excuse me. Yeah, it's sad. There are some people, even your closest of kin, you can't help. I mean, all my family's in the ground except my sister. And she can't quit smoking. And she's a naturopath. And she's cured a lot of things, but only so much you can judge, and it just, people have crutches that they need until they get strong enough to go, you know what, I don't need you anymore. And that's why I like the diet. When someone comes in here with a habit, and someone just said this on one of these comments here, how they just didn't like their habit anymore after they were starting to get healthy. And that's my take is change your attention to a new fun thing to do. Let's get healthy. You're going to go after health. Make it a positive focus. Then your cigarettes, I don't want that anymore. You're not trying to battle your subconscious. You're not battling anything anymore, like Lion Man says in that way. You're working more in a positive vein, but you do have action in a positive vein. And that action is, and that's to bring that health and vibrancy to the body. And the residues and all this gets out of the body, and then these habits drop away. I think we should do that on all drug rehabilitation. Everything we're doing, we need to do this. This type of thinking should be in the prisons, in mental health institutions, in nursing homes, in hospitals. What are we doing with the American dietetics thinking? These people need to be sued, Lion Man. No, but we need to change. We need to change this. So what we're doing is we're making a change here on YouTube. We are going to help the world overcome this ignorance. If not, then they're going to suffer, and those of us that are doing this will feel better in our own health, And the sad thing is I'm one of those people that are a little bit compassionate for humanity. I hate to see people suffer, man. I'll tear a mountain apart to help you not suffer. If you want to die, have at it. It's a fun road. Next journey, let's go. Suffering, I don't know. I never could deal with that. Thanks for the answers is within you. Thanks for that comment. And thanks for your comment, SAFIAR-TV. Safari TV. Thank you. You're awesome too, sweetheart. Pretty woman. Boy, do I have a bunch, and it's already 4 o'clock, so I'm going to have to get on these next week. I apologize for not being able to get so quick here, but a lot of this stuff can get redundant. Okay, so hang on. Oh, today we're up to 2,016 subscribers. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I like that, you guys. Oh yeah, lymph node kicked my ass too. Shingles. Ooh. Oh yeah. Yikes. Well, hang in there, because that really started stirring the pot. Now you're stirring the pot that virals live in, and that's what you need to do. Now get that lymph going and get that lymph filtering, and all those virals will come out of your body and you're viral free. How about that one? So sorry about that, but girl, you'll be okay. Yeah, that lymph node too is a butt kicker. But that's pretty good for an herbal formula. You have to admit, having a formula that powerful is pretty good. We just need to temper it a little bit. So sorry about that, but that shows you that you got to get that herpes out of you there and get that myelin sheath of your nervous system. That tells me you have weak adrenals. Got to strengthen that myelin sheath, detox these virals out of you, and you'll be in good shape. Just shows you the need, what you got. The same thing with Street Magic. It just shows you what we need to do. We'll slow down, but we'll keep going and move that lymph, strengthen those myelin sheaths, and you'll get out to where you won't have that problem anymore. We have some people that do take those 3 times a day. There are people that have no problem with lymph node 2. We seriously do. But I will say that 50% of the people do, probably 50%, but we still have a lot of people take that and no problems. Some just get a little nausea. Others, wow, it really moves, but it shows you the power of moving lymph. And that, when you've got tumors and you're facing, death, wow, that's what we're looking for. But we got to get those kidneys. I need a formula that powerful that when you take that, those kidneys go, I give, whoosh. Man, now we're rocking. We can get a kidney formula that powerful, now we're rocking. We need filtration. But again, there is the lymph system, the adrenal glands there. Hey, Lion Man, you like that iridology? Thanks, man. I tell you what, much love to you too, man. I really love you. You're a good dude here. I'm going to get better with that with you. I am. I'm going to, since it came out pretty good. I thought it came out pretty good, didn't you guys, with Chris and that doing that? I wasn't sure how that turned out, so I will do a whole lesson again on that and show you a little more about it. But it's such a simple science. There's not a lot to it, in my opinion, and I love to keep that simple. And then you can really see the person you're working on. And that's really key, because you guys are getting good to where now you're identifying what you have to do for what symptom. We just don't know how deep the problem is. Like with Kelly, without her eyes, I don't know what her lymph system looks like. You know it's backed up in her head. You know it's backed up in the cerebellum. You know where it's backed up because of the symptoms she's having. Yeah. And you know what she's got to do to find remedy. If she never knew anything but that and she tucked down this road, she'll get well and rebuild. It's going to take her 6 months to a year. Okay, but you didn't get here overnight. So say if it takes you 6 months to a year. All right, now you got your health back. Other than that, you'll be on disability the rest of your life and looking at one doctor after another doctor, and there is no other answers. You're at the top of the mountain now. There's nothing beyond this, I guarantee you. But you can keep looking. So the iris shows us the depth of the problem. That's what's cool. The depth of what we're looking at, and also the relationship between pituitary maybe and kidneys. Do we have to work on the pituitary, or we just don't leave that? Well, I can tell you, most people have transverse bowel problems. They have sinus, pituitary problems. Most of us have some degree of that. I thought it was interesting to see the other night on Simon Cowell's song thing, their version of American Idol, the X Factor. I really like that better than American Idol. American Idol's becoming, all the good singers are kicked off and everybody's, 13 and 14. And so I love the fact they're showing older people that can really belt that out there. So I saw this one man, he was 6'2", I think, and he was the son of little people. And I thought, right there, pituitary, both ways. What a great example of pituitary problems, because that's your growth, that controls growth. And you just saw the opposite ends of the spectrum there. And I thought that was a really good look from a scientific view about the pituitary problems that smaller people pay and that taller people pay. And it's just a factor on both sides of the fence. So I thought it was a good lesson in that. MD, muscular dystrophy. Jerry Lewis, need to learn this because this is the only remedy, like MS or anything else. This is the only remedy you can get to that. So muscular dystrophy, definitely, hands down. You get raw. You get way up there on the fruit. You move those adrenals and you move those kidneys. That's the only way, and you can pull yourself out of this. She's in her 20s now. And let me see. Wondered if a condition like that can be reversed. Totally. I don't think this is one of the issues that you have touched on. It is not one of the issues that I've touched on. Good question. Good question. Glad you asked it. Muscular dystrophy. Anytime you see any condition with any tissue, be it nerves, muscles, bones, any related tissue, you have to go back and sit for a minute, take the disease out of this thing and say, okay, all these tissues are nothing but cells. All these tissue cells are genetics, though, no question, so they're either strong or weak. All right, there's fluids that flow around these cells that one nourish and feed them, that's the blood, but also clean the waste away, that's lymph. When I see deterioration, I see the inability to move, I see neural responses or a lack of neural responses, I see muscle conditions, I see bone conditions, whatever. Steroid, hormonal condition. I'm still talking about cells and two fluids. I mean, when you keep it this simple, you got it, and you can fix this problem. And so this poor thing, she's only 20, get your body regenerated, go 100% raw, nothing less, and get up there with the fruits, berries, and melons as at least 80% of that, and you might try making it 100% at times. Definitely do the upper circulating nerve just for the fun of it, but then really go after the adrenal glands, the kidneys, and the lymph system. Clean up the bowels, by the way, and you'll overcome that. Oh, man, I tell you what, thanks, Owen. I do have an open heart, and I do appreciate that. I can ride the negative wave, but I can do it with laughter and love, you know, because I realize that we're all souls, and we're here on this planet. These are just bodies. Like I said, I hate to see people suffer, but they're easy to fix, and I say easy. There's some tough cases out there that can take months or even years to fix. I have some really tough cases. Like I said, I have a poor osteopath with Lou Gehrig's, and I just can't get him. I've worked hard and hard and hard, and he's worked hard and hard and hard, so I don't know. I like to use the word karma in his case because I don't know. You know, he's done everything right. So there's something we're missing, and we've tried everything. So, but other cases of Lou Gehrig's, MS, you know, no problem. So I don't know what to say. You know, there are those cases that no matter what you do, no matter how many teeth you pull out of your head trying to fix this, that for some reason they don't respond. Is there a, you know, like I said, a karmic issue, a spiritual issue there? Maybe. I don't know that soul's journey. And I never invade people's journeys. I made it a point never to develop my psychic abilities. I did that at one time. I was playing with my mind. I could make a person wake up at night, walk out their house, walk down the street, knock on my door, and say hi. I've done that. But I said no when I realized how I invaded the space of that soul. I realized, no way. I'm not going to play that game. And I feel so much better not using the mind. I don't care anymore. It is what it's going to be, like the Lion Man said. I'm glad you liked the parts 6 and 7 of question 42 with the iridology. Thank you. Saw a brown sulfur fungus ring around the pupil of one of them that looks just like, I know that I'm going to fix that. You know, I love the fact that these videos help you guys. That's my excitement, because my world is so busy helping people that I love the positive feedback. You guys don't realize we are in it's hard to explain to someone that goes to work every day and everybody's sick, everybody's hurting, a lot of people are dying, they're fearful. We work in this constantly from thousands of people worldwide. So it's hard to explain to you the what it does to us. But it's rough. But with your love, we're surviving it. So thanks for all the love and the lessons. Thank you, guys. Appreciate that. More look like sand than fibery. Yeah. Thanks, Claudette. I'm going to have to cut off, guys. So I'm going to go after your. This is Cindy. Dad's 81 years old. Raw food is for over 20 years. Yeah, I answered that. Urinary tract calcifications. I answered that. Chris you won't see this one till next week. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, I just have to cut off. But I love you guys. Thank you so much. And you have a great weekend, even though you're not going to get this till next week. But so when you get this, have a good day then. Have a good now. Have a good now, and may the blessings be to you all. Thank you so much for taking your time to view our videos. And I consider us all a team, and we're doing really good. Really doing good. Thank you. Bye-bye.